up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dog Let's Talk About It. It's your boy Benny from Flores Bullies, along with
Joe Black with Powerhouse Kennels.
And today we got a pretty interesting conversation as always. Before then, of course, we want you guys to subscribe to our channel. Look us up as Dog Let's Talk on YouTube, Instagram, all social media platforms. You can find me on social media as well as Flores Bullies Official. And Joe?
Powerhouse Kennels too.
There you go. So make sure to follow all the accounts. Make sure to support us. And we got so much more stuff coming. Today, Joe felt like he was the interviewer, you know? And he was like, you know what, Benny, I got some questions for you. So we're just going to talk about the huge spectrum that is the bully world. Now, by any means am I saying that I am the spokesperson for the bully world, because there's going to be so much people just talking shit, going like, man, Benny don't know what he's talking about. He's only been doing it for 4 or 5 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. It's okay. Relax. And ain't nobody saying that you're wrong. I'm just giving my take on what I've experienced so far in the bully world, and that's it. Don't get hung up on it. If you're one of those people, if you're those people that like to hang up on things and just comment and hate, turn it off right now. Go do something else. We ain't got time for you. But all right, Joe, go ahead, man. Kick it off. What's up? You want to talk bully today?
I want to talk bullies because I feel like we shed so much light on the Frenchies. I want to talk about bullies.
Let's do it.
Because I'm new to bullies, even though Frenchies are in the bully community, right? Because they're a bulldog. I've been so laser focused on the French bulldog. Whenever I see a bully, I just say, "Oh, it looks nice," or that's not I just give my opinion. But I want to understand what's a bully, what's the category? Because when I'm at shows, I hear a standard, a pocket, a XL, a nano. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know what's the difference, or just educate me, man. What's a bully?
Yeah, well, to begin with, I think, and everybody that's in the bully world can agree and knows, and it's not a hidden fact, that a bully pretty much just turned out to be a beautiful mutt, if you can say it that way, because a bully is not like a purebred dog, right? I mean, it has English, it has French, it has almost every kind of terrier in there. It was just a mixture of things, and it's been getting bred to give a certain look that we know now. And I know at least back in the day, it was all this pit bull look, and then it came to the pocket American bully, which is probably like a 13 to 14 inch dog with big muscles. You can see the muscles, tight skin, big neck. I mean, that was the look, at least from the research that I did when I first started doing the bullies. Because when I first started, it was all pockets for me. But I talked to people and they were like, nah, back then it was all XLs, which is the bigger dogs. And you've seen the XLs, the really big dogs. And they don't have as much muscle. They're a little bit more lean, but they just got huge block heads. And I think another thing that distinguishes a bully from I guess you would say a pit bull, besides the physical aspect, is the temperament, which a bully is just so chill. A bully is just a nice family pet because they're pretty relaxed. They're a little bit more energetic and they have more drive than a bulldog, but not as crazy as a Frenchie.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a big difference.
Yeah, so you get that in the middle. And it also depends, again, what kind of bully you end up getting. If you get an XL, you got a drive dog. You better work that dude or he's going to work you. A pocket tends to be a little bit more chill. Then when you get into the exotics or nanos, depending on who you ask, then you get more of a bulldog, if anything. Yeah. So I got. Well, you met Tuco when you went over to my house. Yeah. So I guess he would be considered a micro, not a nano, because nanos are on the ground. Okay. But from what I've seen in nanos, bro, can't walk. Zero. They don't have as much functionality as maybe as a micro. Because I like my dogs to be short and everything, but that can move, run, play. I'm not big on the whole just dogs that stack and that's it. I don't believe in that. And there's people that do, and that's fine if that's what you're doing. I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying that's me. But there's just a huge spectrum of bullies, honestly. And so if you ask me right now, if you were to pull up a picture and be like, what do you think about this bully? I'd be like, that bully looks great. But then to a million people, that dog's probably trash, right? Just kind of we talked in the other episode about problems. People were talking about that dog's trash, and people think that dog's beautiful. And it's just the whole thing. But even in shows, it depends what kind of shows you go to. If you go to a sanctioned show, let's say ABKC, you're gonna have your standards. You're gonna have your pockets, and then I think it breaks down more when you go into fun shows, because then exotic, try exotics, lilac exotics or the best nano, the best tri nano, and then it just breaks down completely.
So let me ask you this. So, all right, I'm getting into the fun shows right now, right? I've been doing the ABKCs, and I understand like that's your standard that you read up on, and you're breeding for that standard. But then when I go to fun shows, what are the judges like? What do they look like? How do you judge a bully? If you're saying that this dog has so many different characteristics, how does a judge a dog that has no like standard on what it's supposed to look like?
That's my question exactly, bro. It's my question exactly. When I go to fun shows, I literally go just to look. I've competed in like one or two, but it's always my same thing. Cause I'll be in there and they'll be like, "Best bully male, let's go." If your bully's a male, bring him in. You got an XL competing against a nano, competing against a pocket, and then I'm like, what are you guys looking for? Because in ABKC, the legs have to be forward. They can't be bowed out. They have to be straight. The tail has to be good. No underbite. So in the exotics, and you guys know it's true. There's so many faults and genetic wise and physical wise. Like they do have the underbite. Some of them don't even have tails. Some of them have kink tails. Some of them have full tails. Some of them are elbowed out. Some of them are not. So your question is my question. What are you guys looking for? And when you judge, and I think they simply just go based off the wow factor, right? If the dog has a big head and he's short and he's bulky and he's got a nice color, that dog's gonna take it.
So as that's what they look for, as far as in the show ring. What do you look for as a breeder, right? You're a breeder, okay? Like you just said, you have bullies.
Yeah.
So you have a female. She come in heat right now. And then, in 7 days or how many days it take, she may be ready. What are you looking for? What are the top 5 characteristics for you? What are you looking for in a bully?
Okay, so the main thing that I look for is that the stud is functional. Like I said, it's a big thing for me that the stud can move, that the stud, when it walks, that, all 4 of its legs can move separately, that it's not just hopping around, having trouble moving, that it can breathe well. Even though I know even in the English and Frenchies, they got they have to get a little surgery back here to kind of open up the airway or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. But there's some dogs who simply just can't even breathe. Or if they walk, they're already dying. No, your dog needs to be able to move around. So that's a big thing. Functionality.
Yeah,
that's second language, guys.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. Second thing is color, because we talked about before, people shop with their eyes. So if you have a nice, pretty color to the puppies, people are gonna prefer that puppy over an all black puppy. That's just facts, right? Especially people who aren't breeders. They just want a pretty dog. But to me, I like him to have a nice color. I don't really care for tails. Some people care about tails. Another thing that I really like that I look for.
Wait. So you kind of just went over something real quick.
The tail?
What's up with the tail?
Okay.
I see people saying tail, no tail.
Yeah.
Is a tail is a tail needed or is it not needed?
It's not needed, man, unless you're competing in an ABKC sanctioned show. Honestly, it just goes down to taste. It's if you want your dogs to have tails, you just shop for dogs that have tails. Some people don't care. To me, when a dog doesn't have a tail or has a kink tail, it makes him look even more compact, right? Than when a dog does have a full tail. I don't have a preference, personally. I've had people hit me up and oh, I like that one puppy, and then I show them the puppy, oh, but it doesn't have a full tail. If it had a full tail, I'd buy it. And I'm like, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I understand that some people just like full tail dogs.
Yeah. And
some people, like I said, they don't care. So it's just a preference thing. There's no standard to it, especially not in the exotic world. If there's anybody out there saying that there's standards in the exotic world, no, I challenge you. And I'm telling you, come and show me where it's written that these are the standards of what an exotic dog looks like. Because there's not. It's literally all over the place. And you just me, I just breed to breed pretty healthy dogs. That's it. And that's my vision, right? So when I produce puppies and I'm this is what I produce, that's just what I like. It doesn't mean that the next breeder has to like it or agree with it, because they might be producing some things that I don't like. One of the things that I don't like and I look for that the dog doesn't have is elbows like this. I don't like that.
So I like the bows, but I agree. I think when you're too bow, I think it takes away from the whole purpose of the bow. The bow is supposed to be subtle, but like distinct.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be subtle and distinct. Like that's like when I see it on certain ones, I be like, yo, that dog, man, he looks good. Like man, that's a dope dog. But then I see some that is too bold. It just don't compliment that dog. Because they did, like, is that something that is genetics or is it something that they worked on doing?
So it's definitely a genetic thing. And so, like, let's say this guy gets obsessed with bows. So they have a male and they're breeded that has, like, big bows and they're breeded to a female that has big bows. And they just keep breeding the bow into the dog to where the point that it goes from just being like this to being like this. And then you got puppies that walk like this and can't really move. And to me, that's just downhill. Like, you can't do all that. And they'll even like line breed or inbreed to get that extra bone with a bow. And I don't know. Like if it takes away from your dog being able to move, I'm just against anything that keeps your dog from being able to be a dog. I'm against it.
Because it's still a dog at the end of the day.
Yeah, you want your dog to be able to live. You know, like you want your dog to be able to walk around with you. And if your dog, all it can do is just sit there because it's not functional because you want big bows, like I'm against that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you saying first you go for what? What was first again?
Functional. A functional dog. Yes.
Second, color.
Color. Yes.
Third, at the discretion of the person, tail or no tail.
Yes.
And then what's the last two?
The last two would definitely be I want to say probably doesn't have to do too much with the dog itself, but the breeder, the camp, the reputation of the camp. If the camp is like, you know, if it's a good, like if they're good people, I like that. Like if their dogs are not what I like, and then the people aren't even cool, it's out of the question. But if I like the dog and I meet the people aren't really like into maybe like building a relationship, or they're not really. It's just like I'm just another one that comes and breeds and get out. I don't really like that either. I like to be able to build relationships with the people, and if their camp has like a good reputation of, you know, they've produced, you know, pretty good puppies, people are happy to come back and work with them. I want to be like not related, but like when people think of the puppies that I had from that, I want
to be
associated to them. Yes.
Associated. Word of the day.
That's what it is. Spell it out right here. Yeah, because like you want to be associated to good people.
Yeah.
You don't want people to be like, oh, you're bred to who? To that? Yeah. You know what? I'm good. I'm gonna go with somebody else because it happens. So I want to be associated to good people. So if they're a good camp, good reputation, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if the dog doesn't have that extra factor that I like, I'll probably even work with you just because I'm like, you know what? I just like and I feel like we can go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
definitely.
then I guess, and then the last thing, a fifth thing. You're making me think now, Joe.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, you got to think about it, bro. Like, you're talking about a breed where these people spend upwards. I see them, I think one guy at one point, he was, like, bragging about spending, like, $80,000 on a sensei pup, right? And I was like, wow, like, I didn't know bullies get fetched that price.
Yeah.
And I seen him, like, and he looks good. I seen, you know, sensei. And I seen the dog, I'm like, okay, that's what that type of money gets you. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I see that dude in a matter of months, he probably made that back. Because he invested in a dog that had all those characteristics that you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think to me he looked like he was maybe a lilac or a champagne.
Yeah, it's
he was that color,
pretty
but
color, yeah.
he had the functionality, he had the tail, and he came off a very big bloodline. And I see him do it. So I was like, wow, you know, so that right there caught my attention. So that's why I asked you, like, what's a bully? Because I hear, like, people say, okay, a bully consists of this, and I'm just like, okay, then, so does every dog has these dogs in their pedigree? And they're like, no, it just depends on what they breed for.
Yeah.
And I was like, so how do you guys regulate that? How do people know, like, oh,
it ain't regulated at all, man.
This is number one. This is the best. You know, because I go to shows and I see so many bully shows, and I'm just like, what are the judges looking for? I don't care if it's a fun show or a sanctioned show, like, because I just want to understand. Because me, I like to understand, like, what's going on. I hate to be somewhere and I'm just, like, not in tune, like, what's going on, like, what people are looking for. Because I see so many, like, you will see a winner, and then you'll see the runner-ups, and then you'll see the disgruntled people on the side. So I'm like, okay, like, what are the judges looking for if these people feeling like that dog should have won? But hearing what you're saying, it's just kind of like opinion-based.
It really is, man. And, like, speaking about that, like, there was a post not too long ago on social media, and if I find it, I'll post a picture on here. If not, just search it up. But there was this show. It was a fun show. I don't remember where it was, but it was like a juniors handler kind of thing. And so this kid had won first place with his bully. And when I saw the picture of the dog, I was like, oh, hell nah. How did that dog win? Now, ain't nobody talking about the kid, right? The kid went out there, did his thing. It's not the kid's fault. But this dog was, it was a long dog. Its feet were out like this. Its back was in like that. It wasn't a good structured dog. You know what I mean?
To win best in show.
Yeah, definitely not. And I went through the comments, and I was like, I want to see if people are going to be a little bit nice and not talk shit about the kid. And yeah, everybody said, props to the kid, ugly ass dog. Everybody, all the comments were like that. So to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what they're looking for. It would be great to have a judge, maybe somebody that's been judging these fun shows and stuff, or like around the country, to come here and kind of like tell us what they look for. Or is it just a popularity contest? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's just me talking shit. Because I've been to shows where it's like, I was at a show last week and this person won, and now I'm at another show and this person's winning again, and like his bloodline just keeps winning, and he has 30,000 followers on Instagram, but there's other dogs there that could have won. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what does it come down to?
So you thinking like, because there's no standard on like what this dog should look like, the winner is just based on the judge.
Yeah. Like, if that judge that day says, you know what, man, to me personally, that dog's pretty, that dog's going to win. Because it's not regulated at all. And even the registries, like, all the registries out there are, like, have opened up so much more. Like, when I first started, ABKC and UKC, they were strict as fuck with everybody who wanted to register. They were like, it has to look this certain way. We want to accept these certain colors. No exotics to begin with. It was just straight pockets. And now I've seen that, well, I think UKC hung up some papers, but you got now like ABR, USBR, which I'm not talking shit because I work with all of them. ABR, USBR, you got this one called, it's a digital one called Bullyfamilia. They got their own pedigree now.
Okay, yeah.
And they accept anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think my Frenchies are on their registry as well.
Yeah. So like they'll take anything. They don't care. It's not like AKC, which like AKC, I think it's like, I guess the top registry, because like they're like the most strictest, and their shows are televised and shit. So it's a whole other level. But yeah, so like I said, it's not really regulated. So like you can just register anything to anything. Like I had a buddy of mine that bred a Frenchie to a bully, and registered them under, I don't remember what registry it was, but they had a category of, it said bully, exotic bully, or hybrid, I think. And I was like, the fuck, when did that become a thing?
What's a hybrid? Like
it's two different breeds together. You know what I'm saying?
So
like we have a car that
bully and a Frenchie?
Yeah, and they register under that, and the paperwork says, you know, like the dog's name, the color, breed, hybrid.
Now that you say that, I have seen a bully that had ears that looks like a Frenchie.
Right? Like when they don't crop the ears, you can tell that there's Frenchie in there based on the ears, because sometimes the ears are like pointy.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, but when they're like just circular little bat ears,
yeah,
that's a Frenchie, bro. Like I guarantee you that the mom or the dad is a Frenchie.
Wow.
And I've heard from Frenchie breeders that say, like, bully breeders will be like, hey man, let me breed to your stud, and you know, take my female bully to your Frenchie stud. And
that's true. It's some truth.
Yeah,
it happened to me, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I'm telling you,
man. Like, you know, and not to say, you know, me personally, I wouldn't do it with my blood.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm trying to create something, and I don't want to take my blood with something that's just not authentic and pure. So, and I don't want anybody that invested in my yard to ever come to me and like, yo, is this off one of your studs and da da da. Like,
you got an XL bully.
Yeah, I'm like, now I gotta explain like why is this dog 60 pounds but with, you know, big babies features.
Yeah.
You know, Cito be like, yo, nah.
Why your Cito got XL offspring, man? That make no sense.
I can't do it. So like, man, I'm so protective of what I have.
Yeah.
Like, and not saying that everything I've created is that top notch, but I know the future where I'm going, and I'm just like, I don't want nobody just to have my bloodline. It ain't even to some females that if she don't meet my caliber of dog, I won't let my male breed to her.
Yeah. Period. I mean, not every female is a breeding female, you know? Like, not all of them are made for that. So, but there's a difference between people like you, between people like me, that we have morals when it comes to breeding. You know what I'm saying? We have standards. And some people, they don't give a fuck, man. Yeah. If I can get the money, bring me whatever dog you have and we'll breed it. I'm all about making money. And I'm not. I'm not even a big breeder. And I've turned down breedings. You know what I'm saying? And there's people who are like, no, you just start and you gotta take any female and just start making money and get your dog out there. And I'm like, I get the concept of it. Yeah. But if my dog ever does take off, I don't want all these weird looking puppies to come back and be like, oh yeah, that's my puppy's dad. Nah, like I can't.
And it's crazy you say that because I'm one of those people that I'm just like that. Like, you have to think about past the dollar. Because if you just think about the dollar, yes, you're going to make that money. Yes, hey, I get it. We all go through things. Sometimes we need the capital. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's about their integrity. You know, if you believe in what you got, sometimes you got to say no. You know what I mean? And so what? You lose the money now. But you're going to make so much later down the line if that's your vision. Because I'm not going to lie, bro. I turned down a lot of opportunities in the beginning. But, like, where I'm at now in my program, it was worth it because I seen the vision of where I wanted to be, what I wanted to be known for, and how I wanted my dogs to look. And they're not even half of where I want them to be at. But that's just me sticking to my vision and sticking to, like, how I want to, you know, what I want to be known for and how people can use my blood. Because I'm not going to lie, one breeder said this, and it really stuck out to me, man. He said, once you get that stud juice away, you can never get it back. Like, once you get that blood away, that's it. That one breeding, you can never get that back. So you just gotta think like that. Every time I think of that, I'll think about that. Once I do that breeding with somebody else, that bloodline is no longer exclusive, right? Because somebody else gonna make a version of it, and then somebody else gonna make a version of theirs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very mindful. Like, man, my last litter, I think I only sold 2 dogs out the whole litter. Yeah. With rights, and that's just me. And I had dogs that had great potential to be breeding stock, but it's just like they didn't make the cut, so I'm not gonna put them in the breeding pool. I'm gonna put them in the pet pool. Yeah. So that way, now they're in a good home, but I'm also keeping my bloodline and my pedigree and the dogs I got very limited. Who has access to it and who can do something with it?
And that's because you're a strong-minded individual. And a lot of these people in the breeding game are not. They see somebody with 5,000 followers telling you breeding my dog, I guarantee you make $20,000 tomorrow, and they will go do it. They will spend the money, and now they're broke. Now they got some ugly-ass dogs that's sitting at home, and they can't move them, and that's just it. And with that, at the end of the day, the bully world, Joe, is just a beautiful mess. That's all it is, man. It's a beautiful mess that some of us are just love it, and we sticking to it, and we're sticking to each other's vision. And again, respects to everybody out there doing the bully thing. Like, definitely. Y'all know that I'm not lying when I say it is a beautiful mess. But it's what we like, and fuck it, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to keep doing it, and that's pretty much it, Joe. That's what the bully world is in a nutshell.
Well, thank you for putting it in just that little capsule, because I'm not going to lie, bro. Every time I went to a show, I was just kind of just trying to understand, like, what is it? Yeah. Like, what is a bully? And I hear so many different versions, and, you know, me and my Frenchie peoples, we're not very knowledgeable on the bully side, so we give our perspective, but it's good to hear you say, like, you know, in a nutshell, like what's the origins of it. But I would like to ask one more question. What is the life expectancy?
The life expectancy, I think that just runs down to the genetics and to what kind of dog you end up getting. So I think I haven't had any dogs, mine personally, pass yet, so I can't really relate. But from what I've seen, the more exotic, freaky looking dogs probably have like life expectancy of a bulldog, of an English bulldog. It's not that much, especially when they're like really freaky, when their bones aren't structured right, everything right here isn't perfect, they can't really breathe. The dogs don't live long, probably like 7-8 years, and boom, gone. Wow. I've seen a lot of big bullies that 5 years, 6 years old, and they're gone, just health wise. You know what I mean? And then I feel like the cleaner bullies, like a Pocket, like a XL, they tend to live a little bit longer, just like because
10 to 14 year.
Yeah, because they're just physically structured better. At the end of the day, it's pretty much what it is. Genetics, bro. Genetics. That's all I'm saying. Breed with morals. Don't just breed just to put crazy stuff together, and you got an ugly ass gremlin, and nobody wants to breed to it, or maybe people breed to it, but then it dies in 2 years.
Yeah, because I've seen that story so much. People are like, oh, I don't want blocking a bully stud like 2 years out because he might not make it.
And it happens all the time, bro. That's a whole other story for a whole other day.
Wow.
But
okay, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, y'all don't take me too serious. All right, it's just me talking shit with Joe. And feel free to leave your comments. Feel free to, if you agree, disagree. If you want to drop some knowledge on us, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Send us a message on social media. You can find the podcast on social media as Dog Let's Talk on all social media platforms, including YouTube, where all the full episodes will be dropped. You can find me on all social media platforms as Flores Bullies Official. Joe
Black, Powerhouse Kennels 2.
That's it. Have a good one, and we'll be back with another episode.
Yeah.